Lesson 7 in Module 4 is on markup and markdown problems. So again, we're going to be working on things you're going to deal with in real life. You're going to go shopping, you're going to buy things. They're going to be marked up, or they're going to be marked down. So again, we're focusing on percents. So Game School or Superstore buys the latest video game at a wholesale price of $30. Okay, that wholesale price, you've heard it as like commercials, buy wholesale. This is what the company making it sells it for. Okay, when it comes to stores for you to buy, they mark it up. That is how they make a profit. And it has to work that way because they need to make some money, right? They got to pay employees, they got to pay electricity. So it's just kind of the natural, that's the way things work. The markup rate, okay, at Game School or Superstore is 40%. So they're marking it up 40%. You can use your allowance to purchase one game. How much will you pay? We're not going to worry about tax. Okay, so it says write and solve an equation to find the price of the game at Game School or Superstore. So guess what? Quantity equals percent times whole. Percent's easy to find. Now we don't have to worry about this being compared to 100. We're not marking it up 40% of what we paid this last year, right? So I'm going to change this to a decimal. I'm going to move it 2 places to the left and get 0.40. You don't need the second 0 here, but we'll write it. Now, we need to figure out the quantity or the whole, okay? So, a couple different ways we can do this. Since I'm thinking of it in terms of 40%, my wholesale price, that's going to be my whole price here, is 30. So if I were to type this into a calculator, I would get 12. Does that mean we pay $12? Think about it. Game School buys it for $30. Are they going to sell it to you for 12? No. This right here is the amount of markup. So what we need to do is we need to go what they paid, the 30%, plus $12. And that means you're going to buy it for $42. Now I said it doesn't really compare to 100%, but it kind of does if we think about it differently. Because remember that the Game School is making 100% of their money back when you give them $30. And then they're making an additional 40% when you pay them that $12. So this $42 here really represents 140% of the original price. So if we were to take 140% of $30, again, here's my decimal point, move it over twice, I could go 1.4, kind of what I'm doing here, percent times whole, times 30. And if I take a calculator and go 1.4 times 30, I get 42. So notice I get the same price. So you're going to have some options, right? You can do it kind of like we've done in the past and then add it on. Or you can, like we were finishing up doing in the last topic, think of it in terms of out of 100%, I'm paying 140, 100% of what they paid plus 40% more, and get your answer directly. When it says what is the total markup, well, the total markup is, it's a $12 markup. They're making $12. Okay? All right, so let's look at another example. Black Friday shopping. Yay. A $300 mountain bike is discounted, important to pay attention to those words, by 30%, and then discounted an additional 10%. Okay? Don't add percents together. Don't add them together. Okay? Because remember, when you take a percent of something, it's a part out of that whole amount. If you add these together, you can't just think of it as taking 40% out. You're taking 30%, that's reducing the amount, and then you're taking 10% of that new amount. Okay? So if we want to find the sales price, again, we have a couple ways to do it. We can do quantity equals percent times whole. Okay? And we would go 30%, moving it over twice, 0.30 times what its wholesale price was, right? What its original price. That's not the wholesale price, I'm sorry. What they were selling it for. 300. You type that into a calculator, you get 90. And so then if I go 300 minus 90, my new price is $210. But remember, we're going to do an additional 10%. So let me change that to a decimal. Okay, and I'm just going to use the same formula up here. I'll just put X in, right? Quantity is represented by X. My percent now is 10%, 0.10, times my new price of 210. Type that into a calculator. You get 21. But that's not what we're paying. We're not getting this $300 mountain bike for $21. I am then going to go 210 minus 21, and I'll get a total of $189. Okay? Black Friday shopping, it's worth it. That's a good deal. Okay? All right. But I need to get pink back here. Okay. There's another way you can think of it. Kind of like right here. We're thinking about what percent are we paying of it? Well, if it's discounted, discounted 30%. Okay, let's think of this for a second. What percent are you paying? You got 100% minus 30%. We're paying 70% of it, right? And then if that's discounted, 10%, what are we paying? We're paying 90%, right? Because again, it always comes back to that whole total. So we're actually paying, if I work backwards here, 90% of 70% of 300, right? So we're paying 70% of 300, and then we're paying 90% of that. So we're paying 70% of 300, that's this discount here, and we're paying 90% of that. So you really could go changing these to decimals and multiplication, because again, that's what of means. If I took a calculator and typed this in, and I went 0.9 times 0.7 times 300, we get 189. Okay, so that's just another way to think of it. Okay, but notice both ways you get the same answer. Okay? In all, how much has the bike been discounted? Well, remember it was $300, and we're now only paying $189. So that's a difference of $111. Okay? After both discounts, what was the total percent discount? Percent discount. Percent decrease. Okay? So remember, when we see percent discount or decrease, we think of this other formula. Amount of change divided by original. So how much did it change? Well, it changed $111. If you divide that by 300, we get 0.37, which is 37%. It was a 37% discount. Okay? Now, instead of purchasing the bike for $300, how much would you have saved if you bought it before 5 a.m.? Well, that's our discount here, okay? We would have saved $111, okay? Probably, since it's Black Friday, you'll still get a deal if it's after 5 a.m., but saving $111 is kind of nice on a $300 mountain bike, okay? So again, we're really still working with percents. We're expanding our knowledge of it and thinking of it in terms of markups and markdowns.